welcome to TARTLE Cast. 你会说普通话吗?
Yes, Alex.
Do you speak any Mandarin?
No.
Okay, no problem. So, China, greater China.
Yes.
The greater good. What is truly utilitarian, right? What is...
Well, I think it's even crazier, Alex, because
History's written by the winners, not the losers.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And we always have to be careful of that mentality. Here's the article. China's COVID success story is also a human rights tragedy.
Okay. And let's talk about how data is the underlying thing defining this whole article.
Yes.
It said in the first paragraph that China will be the only economy,
Major economy in the world.
economy in the world posed for growth. Before anything happens here, people dying, COVID going out there, whatever, all the human rights tragedies that are currently happening in China, the number one focus is that their data is showing them that we have economic growth. Screw any human rights. I don't care about anything else. We're going to have growth. That is the number one thing you're looking about. Like your focus is more important on economic gain than the health, safety, and rights of the people within your state. First of all, it's a communist state. Okay? I've never lived in China. I've never been there. I don't understand the mindset. But when I hear that your focus is on economic data before the data of a human right and someone's health, that's an issue. That's a travesty in my mind.
Yes.
So let's just kind of dive in here to what this aspect between COVID and the economy and what was really going on in certain provinces within China and how they are defining something as a victory through their data and what is not a victory.
Yeah, China state media said this, which China's state media.
State media, yeah.
So it's propaganda. History is not ended. What has ended is the myth of America.
Mm-hmm.
And they said this, the world is undergoing profound changes unseen in a century, but time and the situation are in our favor.
Yeah.
So, already they're creating this division. They're saying, we're greater. We imposed on your human rights, but the outcome
Look at the game.
is going to be great.
Yeah.
And there's this slippery slope or this dichotomy that always happens when we look at it, like social media right now, these social media companies, we're doing this for the greater good of you. Who are you
to decide what's the greater good for me?
Yes, exactly.
You've never even asked.
Yes.
You never even asked. The greater good of the economy? You think I care about that when I'm talking about the longevity of my life? The public health of people in China? You think I'm really worried about the economy growing in a time like this when you're freaking cementing my door shut?
Yes. Chinese authorities abruptly imposed draconian measures. This is what the article says. Draconian measures to restrict movement in Wuhan and other cities in the Hubei province. Yep. Officials were seen sealing apartment doors to prevent people from leaving their homes. So officials were seen sealing apartment doors.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just bringing up a thing of China on Wikipedia.
To prevent people from leaving their homes. Video circulated online showing residents yelling from their homes in despair.
Yeah.
So, and they were cracking down. They cracked down and had stringent censorship. A man with kidney disease jumped to his death from his apartment balcony after he couldn't get access to healthcare facilities for dialysis. A boy with cerebral palsy died at home alone after his dad, who was his sole caretaker, was taken away to be quarantined.
Mm-hmm.
It was brutal, but guess what happened? The numbers went down. It was brutal. But guess what happened?
Yeah, by taking away people's choice.
And this is what began to come out in the state media there. The sacrifices were necessary. Thanks to censorship, thanks to not allowing victims to speak out.
I don't want, without saying this word, this is the same thing that happened in the late 30s, early 40s.
Yes.
I don't have to say the word because I don't want it to get picked up on the freaking YouTube streams.
But the propaganda that they put out there, they glorified suffering. Yeah, so they said, hey, you guys are suffering. We love that you're suffering for the greater good.
Yeah, you're glorifying data because you think it's something of glory. Again, where's the respect of actually polling the people within that state? Getting the appropriate data from the people that are locked inside their damn homes, right? Where is the balance, the human rights? Where's the transparency of the government and how you've come to those numbers and how do you come to that perspective?
But this just isn't China, and we're not picking on China. We see this in a lot of different countries. We see this in corporations. It's like, you need to sacrifice, Alex, for this greater good. Right. And I have decided what the greater good is. But all I'm asking from you now is to give up your rights.
Let me ask you something. I'm going to point at you too. Am I sacrificing for a cause, or am I sacrificing myself for you?
Well, it's always for
economic
gain.
No, I know. Am I doing it for you, or seriously am I doing it for a cause? Because if you are defining it, if one is defining for the many, then I'm only sacrificing for you.
Yes.
Not the cause.
Yes.
But if the many decide that this is everything that we're going to sacrifice for, now you're sacrificing properly for the cause.
Yeah, and this is interesting to me. Listen to this. Beijing has imprisoned many human rights activists, lawyers, journalists, and religious personnel for advocating for ideas unsanctioned by the Communist Party.
Mm-hmm.
A stringent internet censorship has protected them from false information and from the country from the turmoil the U.S. is experiencing now. That's what they said. They said, we have to have stringent censorship to protect us from. They don't want their people to receive false information.
They don't want to give them good data.
Yeah.
No, not false information. Don't give me that crap.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't want to give them data. People should have the right to choose for themselves. Once they receive information, knowledge, and data, they choose what they want to do with it.
This is why censorship is such a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope.
Yeah, you take Donald Trump off Twitter, I get that. But what have you done? I mean, no, I don't think anyone likes the guy. A Republican or Democrat or whatever you are, independent.
But do you like saying that you don't like the guy?
Yes,
well,
exactly.
Then how about I remove your right to say you don't like him?
It's a slippery slope, and you have to be very careful when you have the internet and you start censoring. They were talking about the younger generation of China knows nothing of Twitter or Google.
Why?
They know nothing of those websites.
They
don't know even what they are.
They need it. They need access to data. Think about all the good things like educational access you can get just from those two things.
Yes.
Come on. There's so much data that is being missed, right? And so when they're saying, here's 50% of the model, here's 50% of how the world operates, well, is anyone in China supposed to do anything if they only have 50% of the data?
So they were talking about this in this article, that they doubled down in censoring the internet during COVID time, and they scrubbed any social media posts that criticize the government from the internet. So they had like a squeaky clean.
Why are you so afraid of being criticized? Why are you so afraid of transparency? Doesn't that up your game?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you are criticized by it, you have to use force, because when then people start to decide, and you're like, "Crap, this is really making us look bad." What do you got to do now? You got to force people into working with your model that they don't agree with.
But what if a majority complain? A great government would say, "We hear you.
Yeah,
we serve you.
Yep,
this majority." So we need to look into this. Let's talk about this. Let's engage.
China, TARTLE is not banned there. So if everybody wants to come together on a data packet, okay,
mm-hmm.
We got our U.S. servers over here. Hopefully they don't have any jurisdiction or someone, tries to haunt us with it. But if there's something that needs to be learned, if there needs to be a collective of data that comes together, pulling all these people from all these disparate provinces together to really bring out some truthful information that hasn't been censored, and they can share that info with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
They can share that data about themselves. This is important. It's important about your public health. It's about your government transparency. It's about your rights as a human being. That option is there for you to share it. So we're here to talk about, we hear you. We see what's going on. It's not good. I don't agree with it. And I'll openly say that outright. I don't agree with that type of force.
We don't agree with an American or UK-based social media company that is imposing on people's human rights.
Yeah, any sort of human rights imposition or an imposition on free will or blocking data that effectuates real good decisions from being made, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
We're agnostic to the political spectrum of it. We're on the side of human life. And we do that with looking at data and say, how do we elevate human life? And that is not an elevative approach when you start censoring data. And so people of China, the Republic of China, whatever you want to call it, the state, if you want to share information, if you want to be economically incentivized outside of your own country and have people listen to what's going on, start sharing your data on TARTLE. We're here. We're open for it. We're not censoring anything that's coming through from you guys because you sit in that specific area. All voice is a voice to be heard.
Every person matters.
Every single person matters.
Regardless if you're in China, Australia, Brazil, doesn't matter.
Or if your door's been cemented shut and you're stuck in there and the government won't let you out, go on TARTLE.
Yes.
All right.
We would love to have you.
We're here. We're here.